Hey YouTube, it's Alec here with Yu-Gi Underground, here with another Tier 3 deck that will never be relevant. That's right, you'll know when I start playing a Tier 1 deck, because it will probably be Evil Swarms, and that will be the easiest deck profile for me to do in the history of ever, because I will literally net deck decks card for card. But the reason I put together the old Hazy Flames back together was because of a TCG Player article which was written about how Blaster could make Hazy's better, and I had already been testing Blaster in the deck, and their build was kind of sad. And so I wanted to show off my build to make it happy, even though it won't be relevant. So if you don't like watching Tier 3 or lower decks, just go ahead and drop us a like and quit watching. So here's the whole deck. 3 Cerberus. He's like Sengen. 2 Periton, 2 Sphinx, Hippogriff. This is the engine as I like it. Some people don't like Hippogriff, but because we are now playing 3 Blaster, it doesn't matter if you draw dead fire monsters, because you can use Blaster to turn those dead fire monsters into useful destruction. Also, his 200 number remains good to this point, even though some people hate the card. I hate him too, but he's less bad. Yeah, 3 Blaster. He's kind of what's bringing the deck back right now. The ability to pitch your dead Grunix and your dead fire monsters to turn them into destructions is really good. He has a cute little +1 in the deck. Also, when you're trying to push for game, you can banish cards to summon him, which gives the deck a little hidden explosiveness that it didn't have before, which is really nice. The Searcher for Your Searcher. 2 Fire Dogs, you can use them to grab your 2 Brongs, your Surge. Usually use them just to grab Cerberus, but you can grab Hippogriff if you want. I've never grabbed Hippogriff, because Hippogriff's bad. I would just prefer never to see him, except I wish he would just randomly appear in the graveyard so I could rekindling him, but I would never have to see him. So yeah, 2 Brongs, 2 Garunix, he's Dark Hole. Also, drawing him isn't as bad anymore. And 2 Battle Fader. He stops OTKs, and he sets himself up as a tribute for your Hazys. So I still keep him. Like I said, I can never go. If you watched my last version of the deck profile, I said I can never go back. I haven't gone back yet. Spells. You're playing Fire Kings and Fire Monsters, and Onslaught of the Fire Kings. Just play that card. It's like E-Telly, but like on steroids, because it sets off all their effects. 3 Circle. You play it like lands without Solemns. Stuff like quick play spells. This, I also play 3 Lance. And I'm not playing MSTs because these cards really do all of your coverage. You can chain them to anything problematic. This card is just broken because it's a Fire King card for Barong. Protects your stuff, sets off stuff's effects. It even sets off Cerberus effects since it's simultaneous, which is cool. And 3 Forbidden Lands. It's actually a really good Ophion out because they can't Pandemic you, or you can just chain it to Pandemic. And then the damage step, they can't Pandemic. And if you use this coupled with him, he's harder to get through. But if you use Hazy Pillars, to summon Sphinx, Hippogriff, or Cerberus, use Pillar to normal summon these and attack. They can't target it, so they can't use D-Prison or something as an out for it. And then you just damage step Lance it, and then you're good to go for whatever special summoning plays you need to make. And you really didn't lose too much. This deck has it has a randomly good Evil Swarm matchup, which I guess I understand, because you have Blaster to pop it off, and you have this to shrink it and get over it. But at the same time, I don't get it sometimes. And it's an Exceed deck, so if you have your Exceed materials out, it's not half bad. Also, even if you're in a pinch with Sphinx, you can use it to revive level 4 or lower monsters, just to wall up or use as Exceed material. even if Ophion's locking you out of your level 5 or higher, which does suck. And I mean, onslaught, you can onslaught for level 4s to make some of your Exceed answers to it, so Evil Swarm's not really too bad for this deck, but I will tell you right now that getting Eradicated for spells sucks really bad. 2 Hazy Pillars, searchable by Cerberus, lets you go off and normal summon Sphinxes and make pluses, and it's a necessary good. I love it. 2 Rekindling, because you can randomly go off to it. Not 3, because you're playing 2 Gold Sarcophagus. Usually you Gold Sarc for, Blaster, and then you net yourself a second Blaster out of the deck, which is why this is broken in E-Dragons, and it's moderately good in here, because if you first turn Blaster for Blaster, you get a +1, which mitigates the -1 that you're going to be using to pitch him to blow stuff up, which means you break even, except you have Blasters taking care of stuff for you, and you're getting dead fire monsters out of your hand. So this is a pretty good, engine. After you use the first one, if you draw the second one, I usually just use it for Rekindling, because Rekindling is kind of nutty. I say if you want to play in this format, you either got 2 things. You got to completely control the game, or you have to be able to do something really nutty, and Rekindling is really nutty. And you can control the game with Garunix, but in the face of E-Dragons and whatnot, it's not the best control you do. Furthering your consistency, you have 2 pod dualities, so that you can get cards you want in your hand and keep cards you don't want out of your hand. Finally, we got Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm. I'm usually against Dark Hole in this format, but because Dark Hole sets off Garunix and all of your good stuff, I still keep Dark Hole in this deck. Heavy Monster Born, no MSTs because you're running 3 Circle, 3 Lance, and that really gets the job done. Finally, 1 Trap. The spells and the monsters come out to 39. I had to drop Foolish Burial and whatnot because I'm not playing Call to Haunteds anymore, but I'm playing 1 Breakthrough Skill just because it needed a 40th card, and I was going to play Upstart Goblin because you can randomly put a lot of damage on the board, but it's never enough when you start running Upstart, so this just helps you control. If you RST, you can mitigate it. When your Garunix comes back, if they have something that's randomly immune to destruction, you can banish it and get everything off the field so you can keep rolling. And so the main difference between this one and TCG's players is that this is a lot more spells. They were running a lot more traps in theirs, but I think the better you can make your odds for Hazy Flame Sphinx, the better time you're going to have, because you use this card a lot, and I mean a lot, just randomly calling. And if you open with a Gold Sarc and an Onslaught or make a Periton play, you get these monsters out of your deck really fast. And the more monsters that are out of your deck, just the more likely that you're going to go Sphinx Call spells and then randomly you can get like a Blaster, get back Peritons to make more plays, get back Garunixes just to keep the field under control, just get back extra Exceed material, just get back whatever you want. This card is the reason, also with the quick play spells, I feel that you don't really need to be wasting your time running traps in this deck, because in this format, there's just really not traps that are worth it. So, going into the extra deck, 2 Basilitrice, dropped it from 3 from last time, just because new stuff's coming out. Space is getting tighter, his banishing isn't as necessary as it used to be, but he's still fire, which is really important because he's revivable with Fire Circle in the face of Evil Swarm, so you can get a 2500 out under Ophion and then throw a Gaia Charger on top of him to get over the Ophion. He can also banish stuff out of the graveyard, which is random utility, and he still has those extra effects where if you can get 5 Exceed materials under him, you pretty much win the game against E-Dragons and stuff and pretty much just anything right now, actually. Maybe not Spellbook of Fate, because apparently that doesn't target. 1M7. He's pretty much the new go-to Exceed. After you make your Periton play, you can detach, and you can either add the Periton back to your hand so that you have a Periton play ready for next turn, or you can add Sphinx back to your hand. So you can summon, and since you have monsters out of your deck, the spell count, the spell ratio gets really high, and you can start going off with Sphinx during your next turn. You can bounce Exceeds and stuff on the field if you don't feel like going in him or need the 2700 attack for some reason. And then if he survives into your next turn, he becomes a +2, and you pretty much just win that game. So M7 is a really broken new addition into the deck. Gauntlet Shooter cleared the way for rekindling OTKs, because if you can rekindling 2 Cerberuses, that's 4,000 damage. If you can rekindling 2 Cerberuses and anything else, you just start getting into really high amounts of damage. So if you can go into a Periton play, do what you gotta do, make this, pop off your opponent's stuff, and then just activate rekindling and just swing for game. That's just a new unfair thing that can do, and Gauntlet Shooter makes it happen. Also, when you side into Iron Walls, he's destruction that doesn't care about Iron Wall, even when your Basilitrices still do. Effect Negation, Force Focus, Bouncer, play Force Focus because it has 100 more attack, which is randomly important. Also, you can use him. He negates effects to the end of the turn. They're just better against different things. But Bouncer is still really good. Exabeetle, I could probably take it. You could probably take this out now. I just keep it because it's generic rank 6 destruction, and you can throw Gaia Charger on top of them when you're done. So the card still has utility, just like getting rid of like weird defis and stuff like that. Gaia Charger, just spit in the face of, pretty much just a spit in the face of Fiendish Chain. If they Fiendish Chain any of your rank 6s, you just go Gaia Charger, attack, woo! And then rank 4s, because Rekindling can make rank 4s, and whatever, Fire Dog can go into Brawn and make rank 4s. Direwolf, I'm pretty sure this was made for Fire Kings, even though he gets splashed into everything else. You can like pop off Brawn and Grunix and get their effects off too, so it's pretty good. And you can always just use them for the stereotypical, I'm going to launch my wolf into your back row. Emerald, I don't use it very much, but sometimes if you're desperate for an extra draw, you're desperate for an extra draw. Maestroke, that, Ophion Outs. Abyss Dweller, just pretty much win Dark Worlds and stuff like that. Cowboy for damage and for Ophion outage. And Shockmaster, because if you're kindling for 3, you can make Shockmaster and lock your opponent out of stuff. And finally, for the side deck, 1 Grandma, reusable Ophion out. Kind of hooked on this card. 2 Electric Virus, you can take over Dracosac, you can take over Ophion, and because the main core of your deck is a bunch of level 6s, even though they're not meant to be tribute summoned, you're supposed to use whatever it's called, the Pillar, so that you don't have to tribute for them. They're all level 6s, so you can take over their stuff with Virus and then tribute on top of it for this, which is nice. 3 Iron Wall. I was citing this before Dragons came out, but now that Dragons are out, it's particularly useful. Shuts off random traps, also shuts off their ability to banish your fire monsters. So just pretty necessary in a Hazy Fire King side deck all around. 3 Maxi, I'm sure you can figure that one out. 3 MST, I'm sure you can figure that one out. 2 Swift Scarecrow, stop OTKs. And 1 Goes in Match. 2 just kind of as another continuous trap card that I just popped in there to lock dragons out of some of their plays, because dragons suck. They're mean. And you can Grunix them, and when Grunix comes back, he pops their tokens, but the jet plane still stays there, which is annoying. And yeah, I just don't like dragons or evil swarms or really any of the tier 1 decks this format. So that's what a side deck's for. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you take something out of it, even though it's a tier 3 deck that will never be relevant. So I will see you guys, and have a fantastic day.